This is Bridget from Speech Therapy Talk membership, and this video I'm going to go through why it's really important that we build in movement breaks for articulation therapy sessions, how to do it, and then I'm going to go through some of my absolute favorite ways to do this really easily with some really inexpensive activities. So the first things first, why we need to worry about movement breaks. Now, personally, I need movement breaks, even probably more than some of my students need movement breaks, because articulation therapy is hard. We have to have a lot of focus, a lot of concentration. We're thinking about all these muscles. We're sitting attending to a task, and that's just kind of hard to do. And also, I've noticed when I build in movement breaks for myself, I am more regulated, but also my students are more regulated. And there is research to back this up, but these movement breaks give children a break. It kind of breaks up practice. It helps them get their energy out, and then they're able to come back and attend to tasks and focus. So how we do this really depends on the child. It's going to differ from each child, of course, but it also, in the same child, it will depend on how they're progressing in that exact activity, on the exact sound, or whatever you're doing, and it will also depend on the day. So it's something that is very fluid, and I adjust as the games go on, as the sessions go on. But what I really look for is how much effort the child is putting in to the activity we're doing. So some children, they're just learning how to say a sound. We're using every cue in the book. We're using different models. We have a lot of concentration and focus just to get those first sounds out. So maybe just after we get, one or two syllables, then we'll take a movement break. But if a child's farther along in the activity, we may do 5 words, 10 words, 20 words before we take a movement break. And a little bit of a motivation tip, I usually start the productions to get the first movement break lower at the beginning of the activity. And as they get excited about it, then I kind of up the production as the activities go on. Okay, so let's go to my very first one. So one of my favorite ways to do this is with this balloon inflator. I have this balloon inflator for my early intervention kids. We use it all the time for those first words, but I've noticed it's been really handy for my articulation children. So I get one of these things. You can find them anywhere. I have a bag full of balloons. The child gets to pick whatever color they want, and I have them we put the balloon on here. We kind of all know how to do this. But what I have them do is I say whatever sounds, whatever words, whatever they're doing, they say it, 1 time, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. This is a pretty quick activity, so you could probably just do 5, 10 words before they take a turn. But after they do it, they blow up the balloon, however large they want to do it. The key is we don't tie off the balloon, we just take it out, and then this is the fun part, they just let it go and it flies around the room. And that can be motivating enough, but some kids like a little bit of a challenge, so they can blow up their balloon, and then we make a target on the wall, see if they can run around the room, let go of the balloon, see if it hits the target, or sometimes I'm the target, and they try to see if they can hit me with the balloon, but it is really motivating. So try that one. My next activity is this spinner thing. I don't know what it's called. I actually just took it from my children when they stopped using it. But this one is probably, besides the balloon one, is my all-time favorite one that kids request almost every session. But what I have them do is I have them say their, 1 or 2 syllables if they're learning, their 5, 10 words if they're at the word level, maybe they're at sentences. And then they get to put this little spinner in, they spin it, and then when they let go, it launches in the air, and then they can run around the room and try to catch it. This one, just for quick tips, is they don't want to just do 1 turn. They usually want to do 3 or 4 turns in a row. So I can kind of jam as much as I can practice. I might even be able to get 10 words, 15 words before we take a sensory break. They put this in, they spin it, then they run around the room and try to catch it. They try to beat their level, see how many times they can catch it. And this one has a lot of words built into it. So if you're working on K, you can say the word catch. If you're working on CH, you could say launch or catch before you take a turn. Spin has the SP blends. Release, which release the button. It has R, it has L, it has final S. So you can build in a lot of higher level articulation goals with this, which is really great. Another one that isn't movement per se, but it's more of a sensory mind break are puzzles. So I sell 2 different puzzles that are 30 pieces. I really like these. You can use any puzzle you have. Obviously the really little ones, you know, the baby wooden puzzles, those aren't going to work as much, but you don't want a 100 piece puzzle or something like that. So these are 35 piece puzzles. And what I do, or 30 piece puzzles, sorry. What I do is I just stack up like 4 puzzle pieces. I have them say whatever, you know, we can say, if it's 1 word, 10 words, 20 words, and they get a stack, and then we keep doing, and usually sometimes right away they want to take the puzzle pieces out and they want to see if they can fit any in. They can't, so they're really motivated to, you know, grab another stack, or I might put 2, 3, 4 puzzle pieces together. We say our words, I give it to them, then they can start putting the puzzle together, and that's a really great one. The kids really enjoy doing, and also just as a bonus, like this puzzle piece has a lot of S and Z words built into it, so once you finish, you can talk about the puzzle, you can find hidden pictures, and you can still practice S and Z, and I have another one that practices R. And then lastly, I have this dartboard. I think I got this IKEA like 15 years ago, but this one's really fun. You have colors, or you have numbers on it, and then you have these little Velcro darts, and what I do is they have to say 1 or 2 words to get a dart, or maybe 5 words to get a dart, and they throw it. They add up all their points, and they do it again and again, see if they can beat their points. But what's great for this one is it just has a lot of movement built into it, and kids really respond well to it. All right, well, I hope you liked these ideas. If you have any more that you would like to add to the list, please just comment below. Also check the comments for some other links for some other helpful tips, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, thanks for listening. Bye.